How is it going, everybody, and welcome back to Sidewood. I hope you're all doing well. I have decided to split this up into different genres to say. This video will be general tech, others would be science, gadget and games, and what is the other? Windows and dev. So it's just more focused videos on different audiences. They're all around the same sort of thing. It's just easier to edit and to talk about if I just theme the videos like that. But getting into the news, Meta is back and it has started its latest round of layoffs, focusing on business groups. Now this comes following previous rounds of layoffs in the technical center. This week, about 10,000 workers have lost their jobs, following November's 11,000 last year. That is in total, what, 21,000? In just a few months? That is mind-blowing. You know, America is really going through a struggle with the amount of jobs that's being cut. Inflation, and I'm really sure this is due to the rise of AI technologies as well. So many jobs can now be sort of replaced. It's not that it's totally replaced everyone, but you can have less people doing the same amount of work, for example. And I'm pretty sure this will continue to get worse and worse and worse. So in the future, we will need to find new jobs or just have more people in the labor market, like physical handwork. But yeah, this is not the only news from Meta. From USA Today, Europe slaps Meta with record 1.3 billion fine over data privacy. Again, Meta is failing to keep up with the data privacy issues. And now they've received a record-breaking fine. Record. The European Union slapped Meta with record 1.3 billion privacy fine Monday and ordered it to stop transferring users' personal information across the Atlantic by October. The penalty of 1.2 billion euros is the biggest since the European strict data privacy regime it took effect 5 years ago. 746 million euro fine in 2021 for data protection violations. The amount of money that is being transferred, just for the amount of data that's being transferred. So in terms of what data they've collected, it's the usual, like names, emails, IP addresses, messages, viewing history, geolocation data, and other information that Meta uses for targeted online ads. We know that their ad business is failing. We do know that their targeted advertisement is a slowly dying business, as there are more companies such as Apple, for example, that are restricting some of the data collection. And that is definitely shown in the amount of profits they've received. So upon fines and the inflation in America and the whole loss of targeted ads and the lack of users in the metaverse, Meta is really struggling right now. Speaking of AI, I saw this article by Alison Johnson coming from The Verge. I turned my vacation photos into nightmare with Photoshop's new generative AI tool. So the gist of it is that they have the content aware fill. They've had that for quite a while, but they've updated it to include some new AI features. So they have an image here, for example. The original is just some rocks, a waterfall, just a general landscape sort of view. And if you look at what they did with the generative fill, they've added a few more rocks. I'm not exactly sure why they would do that. I mean, just to see what they would do, and sort of edited the waterfall a little bit. It does seem like the original photo has like a blurry waterfall at the bottom, and they try to fix that with the generative fill on the right. I mean, looks good. It looks really good. I wouldn't have noticed it at first glance. I don't know. It is a weird example, a step up from the content aware fill. What would be more noticeable is the sky replacement. Now, we did have this before. I remember using this specifically. Now, what is more noticeable is the sky replacement AI tool. Now, I have used this in the past. This is not specifically a new thing, but I suppose it's been updated. Now, in the original photo, it is sunny and it has zero stratus clouds, while in the sky replacement AI tool, it's dark and it has nimbus stratus clouds. So it's just this change from this sunny day to like a stormy sort of look. And of course the mountains have been edited as well a little bit. I'm not sure why they did that. I suppose when they were editing it, it didn't look convincing around the mountain areas. And they just did some generative fill to edit the mountain a little bit. So it just looks more natural. Now there's also a tool in Photoshop where you can just ask the AI to make whatever. So from this landscape, it is, it's a desert scene sort of. I would say, what is it? It's like a snowy desert. I suppose in Iceland somewhere. But they've asked the AI to take that photo and they ask it to make a waterfall out of it. And it made not a convincing, it made a waterfall, but it's not too convincing, I would say. It's definitely noticeable that it was generated. And they asked to have a pony as well. And it did not go so well. So the pony is fused. There's two ponies and they're fused. Kind of like if you watch the show Cat Dog. It's just two ponies. One's facing one way, the other's facing the other way, and their back ends are fused together. It did not work at all. You don't even see their faces. I suppose Adobe's generative AI isn't as developed as the other AIs. There's also other images as well. It's not the greatest AI, let's just say. But another AI technology focusing on image, it is the new Google, what is it called? It is the Google Product Studio. It's essentially, it's for, well, in this blog post, they make it for small business owners. So you're able to take an image of an object you're selling and just change the backgrounds, enhance the photos, change the lighting, all that sort of things. They note that if you have different photos for the same product on a website, you have more impressions and more clicks, as well as making it easier for businesses to list on Google. Now, there isn't a lot of preview images I can like show. They just have this bottle, this, what is it, a balm bottle? And they're just changing the background, making it less blurry, all the good stuff. So I guess those small business owners don't need photographers anymore. Just take a picture on your phone, just upscale it, make it less blurry, and change the background to wherever you want. Like if you're having a nature product, that's something that's organic, you can change it to like a nature scenery if you wanted to. Now, there has been a lot of Apple news recently. More Apple rumors. So take everything here with a grain of salt. So I have 4 articles from Mac Rumors since May 24th. iPhone 15 to support 15-watt wireless fast charging using third-party chargers that aren't MagSafe certified. This is really nice. Businesses won't have to pay Apple to look at it and have the fee and get the certification, all that stuff. It just creates more issues in the third-party market. And Apple really, really doesn't want you to have things from the third-party market. Everything must be Apple if you're Apple. So this is a nice change. It's good that they're allowing some more stuff. If only they had USB-C. That is rumored to be coming in the new iPhones. So I'm hoping for that. I'm just hoping that they do the same thing here, where you can use third-party chargers and all that. One of the things about the Apple chargers is that they're unique to Apple products, and that you would have to buy their charger. That's the whole reason, not because it's more usable or friendly or whatever they want to justify the means of it. It's so that people buy their products. And yeah, so this is a nice change. There's not much more Apple hardware news, but iOS 17 to include dedicated journaling app and mood tracking. According to Gurman, the app is indeed slated for the inclusion of iOS 17, and it will introduce note-taking and stronger social element to the iPhone. Now, I do take a lot of notes. I use Notion as my note-taking app. I really love that. Microsoft is making their own version of that called Microsoft Loops. And I'm not sure if Apple is making something similar to that, or just making a normal note-taking app, but just having a few more added features, because they already have the Notes app. So that suggests that they would be doing something more like Notion. Now, this won't be included in, probably won't be included in iOS 17. It's probably just a standalone app that comes along. The mood tracking is interesting. It's just why. I mean, they have been focusing more in health aspects. So I suppose that will be in the health app. I am not sure. MacRumors also wrote that iOS 17 said to feature Wallet, Find My, SharePlay, and AirPlay upgrades. Now, there isn't really anything that they've said that would be changed. Gurman said the Wallet app in particular will have significant changes, but did not provide specific details. He added that Apple is planning location services enhancements for Find My app without elaborating further. I would love it if I had like some sort of compass feature in Find My. Instead of, having to make your iPhone play a sound, you can, or your Apple Watch to play a sound, you can just use your Apple device like as a compass, and it just points to your device. Now on SharePlay, they want to basically have people on the FaceTime call be able to watch the same content. So I guess it will share your screen or your Netflix app or Apple TV app or whatever, and you can all FaceTime together and watch it together. That is interesting. I like that. But other than that, they didn't really say what it's going to be in these new apps. iOS 17 lock screen interface to turn iPhone into smart home display. You have this thing on if you use an Android device, particularly the Pixel device. If you put your Pixel device onto a charging dock, you'll see this slideshow, I guess you could call it, of information being displayed onto your lock screen, sort of like calendar and messages, instead of having all these notifications drop down. So from the article from The Verge, they show what the Pixel sort of display looks like. Very minimalistic. I like it a lot. It sort of reminds me of the always on display from, I think it was Windows Phone. They had something similar like this. From Gizmo China, alleged iPhone 16 Pro Max CAD renders tout a larger display than the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So you come from the 6.7 from the previous generation to 6.9 inches on the 16 Ultra. I am not a fan of such big phones. Now, not that they should make an iPhone mini, no, just the original iPhone, that's a good size. These phones are getting way too big. If I have the 11 Pro Max, I'm using that to record this video. It's too big. It's too big. I can't use it in my hand. But that's just a lot of people, they want a big screen because they're using their phone to watch media more now. I'm not such a big fan of that push. I like that you have a dedicated media device, like your laptop or whatever. You vote with your wallet, and this is pretty much it. Oh yeah, we spoke about the podcast. If you want to listen to the podcast, it's called the Sourwood Pod. An article coming from The Wired. Generative AI podcasts are here, prepared to be bored. So recently they made a AI podcast. Who was it? What was his name? But he created the Joe Rogan AI experience. So it simulated Joe Rogan's voice. So he created the Joe Rogan AI experience. So it used AI voices of Joe Rogan and OpenAI CEO Sam Altman and former President Donald Trump. The podcast, it was quite convincing that it was Joe Rogan. Just The only thing that you would notice is sort of the topics, and it wasn't fun. And this article gets into that as well. It just wasn't a good podcast experience. So Hugo, the man that created the Joe Rogan AI experience, he said, apart from listening to the podcast because of its technological advancement, there's no point. It just wastes time. Just wasted time. So yeah, there's not much value into listening into the AI podcasts, at least for now. There might be a future where I just don't do this myself and just type in to a machine, an AI version of me will just speak and have a video of myself. That would be interesting. Now that is all the news for today. I missed last week. I did make a video, but then issues happened and I couldn't make it. So we just skipped last week. So as a bonus sort of news article, I saw this. I'm not into watches or anything, but I don't know about Hublot. I just saw this and it made a partnership with an espresso. So the watch is made out of aluminium capsules and coffee grounds. It's just not a particularly good looking watch, I would say. It's just interesting that they make it out of that. I didn't know you could make a watch out of coffee grounds, but hey, here you go. But other than that, that is it for today. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.